Big Cat posted today.
Oh,
I
wait.
forgot what her name with Riley Reid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna call him.
Yeah. That was funny.
It's hilarious.
That was funny. That was good. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mad Dogs podcast. Today is Thursday, February 3rd. We are not recording on Thursday night. We're recording on Wednesday night this time. And you will see that we have a stacked cast today. Just kidding. It's just me, Aven, and Hitch at the moment. We have Avery joining in a minute. Bond had homework and studying to do. JoJo, we haven't heard from in 2 weeks because he is still depressed about the Packers loss.
I count for two people though, so it's okay. I have the mass of two human beings.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. And
Not
Pedigo,
two of me, man.
he's a half of me, to be honest.
There he is.
There's
Hey.
Avery. Avery's joining during the intro. There you go. And Pedigo just didn't text us back, so we don't know anything
He
about
just wanted to
Pedigo.
be a slap dick.
Yeah. Hey Avery. He's muted.
You're
Okay.
muted, boy.
He's muted. I don't hear him. Do y'all hear him?
No,
I don't.
Avery.
See him
Anyway.
fixing his chair.
Yeah, I see him fixing his chair as well. Avery, I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Hey, can you pop your finger at your asshole and well, he can hear us.
Right? Yeah, he can hear us. For
He can
sure.
hear us. We just can't hear him.
Hello.
There he
There he
is.
is.
There he is.
Interesting.
Awesome. Okay. Ladies
What
and
episode is
gentlemen,
this? 11?
this is episode 11. It is. We
Yeah,
are.
this shit's fly, bro.
Yeah, no, we've already done 11.
It's like we started last week.
I know.
We're old.
Our podcast is officially old.
We're already canceled.
I'm surprised we haven't been yet. We ain't posted. We don't post enough.
We don't. If that one would have went out.
Yeah. All right.
No, we do nothing to get canceled over here.
We're the most what's the word? We are the most uncancelable podcast on the internet, I think. I don't think we can be canceled. I really don't.
We can't have our podcast canceled, but we can have our
Canceled?
override canceled. Was that canceled? I'm
I
sorry.
feel like
Uh-huh.
we're sitting right there with the Joe Rogan podcast.
Hey, Aven, guess what?
What?
My PC is supposed to come in tomorrow.
Hey, let's go.
Who's
Leaving
PC?
Leaving all these console peasants behind.
Amen.
Oh my god. That's mean. That's kind of rude.
Really, the only thing you can do on a PC you can't do in other games is hold like more than one game. Like PlayStation, you can only hold like if you have Vanguard or Warzone, that's all you can have, pretty much.
Every day.
That's
Wah,
So
wah.
large.
Who- Wi-Fi line?
That's what she
Avery
said.
doesn't hear. Avery, what do you eat for dinner?
What did I eat for dinner?
Yeah,
Slims.
that sounds good. Okay. All right.
Oh, Aven, I think we're getting the Asian food market. Tupelo. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that.
It's in downtown.
Like the
My
one in
mom's
Starkville?
opening it up.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
It looked exactly like it.
Like,
And
that's
see,
when
I think they're still putting it together though. So I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
when it'll be open.
you bozos have school tomorrow. Guess who doesn't?
None of us have school tomorrow.
I have
actually.
work
We
tomorrow.
actually, none of us have class
None
tomorrow.
of us have school tomorrow.
Oh, well,
Yeah, asshole.
Bozo.
And not because it got canceled.
Bing
because
bong.
We don't have class.
mine got canceled. So
You don't. You
I'll
can't
be here
say
all
bing
day.
bong because I think the Knicks lost tonight.
Y'all were down 10 earlier.
Yeah, we were down 11. It's all right though. No big deal.
Who are y'all playing?
The Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's one of the few I got right this week, or not this week, today.
They covered. They beat us by 12. So
there's a dude that came into my work today that was wearing a Clippers jersey. I was kind of thrown off.
And you creamed yourself.
No, I just went, hey, I like your jersey, man. He went, thanks. No,
Thunder's beating the Mavs
You're
right
welcome.
now. Love that.
that was a really cool interaction, Avery. We probably sat here for 10 minutes and not talked about jack shit. So people are probably leaving the podcast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually a lot of sports going on, but because you bozos only care about football, you think there's nothing going on. But there is. There's a lot going on. And we have a pretty eventful podcast to talk about today. We got a lot of stuff. We're going to talk a little bit of college basketball. We're going to talk about the NBA or the MLB lockout. We're going to talk about the PGA power rankings and what we expect to see this weekend. We are also going to talk about the recent transfers that Ole Miss has gotten. And then we'll talk about really, whatever we can come up with along the way. I already forgot my train of thought.
The Washington football team
Yes.
finally getting a name.
Yeah, the Washington Commanders finally getting a name. We'll talk about
Washington
that'll be our
Force.
last.
They were better without a name.
I think they should have stayed Washington football team.
I like Washington football team.
I kind of like it too.
It's unique.
It is unique. Okay, so first up, college basketball. And let's talk about the number one team in the nation a little bit. The Auburn Tigers, they beat Alabama by 19 at home yesterday. Auburn is the best team in college basketball, right? I think we can all agree that.
I think it's still Kentucky.
I think they're the one beside their name would agree as well.
What'd you say, Avery?
I think the one beside their name would agree with you.
I know. But this game was close, like midway through the second half. I don't know if you guys watched. I'm not sure if y'all did.
I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah.
I was
This
too
game
busy
got
making
close
money.
for a little bit, but Auburn they put up 100 last night. They won 100-81. And they just I feel like they can't be stopped. I feel like when they beat Kentucky, last Saturday, not this past one, the one before that, I just felt like there's not really a team. And I know the SEC is strong, it's balanced. I mean, we have a lot of good teams in the SEC, but no one in the SEC I don't think can touch Auburn. I think them, especially at home, with their stadium and the fans that show up, they want their team to win. This is a team that reminds me of the undefeated Kentucky team, not because they're that dominant, but because they just find ways to win, and they find ways to cover. By the way, they love covering. They are amazing against the spread this year. They covered again last night. The spread was 6 in Auburn's favor, and Auburn put up 100. I mean, I don't think that should be overlooked at all.
No, I don't know who could compete with them at the moment. I mean, you had a shaky game against Mizzou earlier. What was it, last week?
Yeah, they won by 1.
By 1 against Mizzou. But other than that, no other game has been close except that what was it, Connecticut game earlier this year that they actually lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other teams you'd put up there, because every other team in the ACC and other divisions, they haven't looked as dominant as they have in years before. Duke doesn't have a dominant team. You have teams like Gonzaga. They're good programs, but you don't know how well they'll match up against Auburn.
Yeah.
Okay, so who was it that beat Auburn? Was it Bama earlier
Connecticut.
at home? Was UConn?
Yeah.
So that's their only loss. 12-0 at home. It's pretty dominant.
Yeah, they continue to I'm scared that I'm gonna go watch them at home this year, and I'm very scared about the massacre that's gonna happen in the Honk. It's gonna be bad, really bad. But yeah, the Missouri game, I definitely think was kind of one of those games where you're overlooking. You play Alabama next week. I'm trying to think of who they played Saturday. No, they played Alabama yesterday. I'm trying to think of who they played. Was it the Missouri game Saturday or mid last week?
I think it
was
was. It
last
was.
week.
Okay.
It was.
Oh,
They
was
played.
it? Was that long ago?
They played Oklahoma.
That's right, and they beat
Saturday.
Oklahoma 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, beat
I think
Oklahoma
that
by
was-
16.
Yeah. That's one of those games where Auburn was looking. They had 3 games. You're looking at Kentucky last Saturday, then you had Missouri, whatever. You had Oklahoma this past Saturday, and then you had Alabama at home. They probably weren't looking at Missouri much. And yeah, so I like Auburn too. I like watching them play. They do everything right, it looks like. And if you make a mistake, you're going to get punished. I mean, if you make one mistake, it turns into like 8 points for Auburn. Like one teeny mistake. Like they're good. They're really good.
They're going to have a pretty good chance of winning out. The rest of their schedule is Georgia, Arkansas, A&M, Vandy, Florida, Ole Miss. They got to play at Tennessee, Mississippi State.
Tennessee has not lost at home yet.
That's what I was about to say. That's also something that needs to come up.
We've only
February
lost one at
26th.
home.
Yeah. Tennessee is abysmal on the road, but they are very good at home. So that one actually, is that on a Saturday or a weekday, Aven? Do you know?
So on the 26th, so let's see here. That'll be 3 Saturdays from now. 4 Saturdays from
So it
now.
is a
On
Saturday.
Oh,
So
Saturday.
the month.
Awesome. Okay. Another one from last night that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. Let me see. Okay. So Kansas played Iowa State on the road. And the spread was 4.5. I think Kansas was coming off a loss against Kentucky, who now we know Kentucky is a top 5 team. Kentucky is very good. And they went into Iowa State and they beat them by 9. This game was close at times too. But really in the second half, it was oh yeah, Kansas is going to win, but are they going to cover the spread? Like they were up by 6 to 8 and then back down to 4 most of the game. But Kansas looked good again. I didn't watch much of that one. I watched a little bit of the second half, but I think Kansas got up by 10 at one point, and I was like, okay, this game's over. But Kansas looks pretty good. Yeah, that loss to Kentucky doesn't look great, but I hate to say it. They play Baylor on Saturday, by the way, so I think that's a huge game in the Big 12, not only in the Big 12, but the NCAA as a whole. I don't think Kansas is the best team in the Big 12.
Who do you think is?
I think Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12. I really do.
They're always low key.
Yeah, by the way, did y'all see their practice facility?
No.
Oh my God, that shit is nuts. I'm talking about rivals that of the Grizzlies practice facility. Now I can say the Grizzlies because I've seen it, but blows like the Memphis Tigers and Memphis Grizzlies out of the water. Like it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That's impressive. I have to say Memphis is.
It is awesome.
But I mean, if you look at Memphis's, and then I mean, if you like look online and look at everybody else's, I mean, Memphis gets blown out of the water by the rest of the teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's basically based solely on how much money they bring in, which I mean, compared to like teams like the Knicks and the Lakers, they're not bringing in near as much as they are.
Because you're in Memphis.
Yeah. They do love their
Hate to
Grizzlies.
say it. Yeah,
Poverty franchise.
They do.
Texas Tech also won again last night. They beat Texas,
Yep.
who was ranked by 13. Texas Tech is good, dude. Texas Tech is really good. They are number 14 in the nation, but their record 17-5. Okay, so I think that is kind of, you look at the record and you're like, okay, there's no way, right? They can't be that good. So you look at their losses. They lost to Iowa State on the road by 4 in an abysmal offensive display. They lost to Kansas State on the road, another game where they had just beat Oklahoma State and they were playing Iowa State and they lost. You know, it's kind of like the Auburn deal. They lost to Kansas by 3 in double overtime on the road at Kansas. So I think that has something to do with it. You play at Kansas. I think that's always a tough game. But dude, you look at their wins, right? They beat Iowa State. They beat Baylor. They beat West Virginia.
They beat Kansas before too. They beat Kansas by 8 points earlier in the year.
Yeah, they beat Kansas. They beat Tennessee at home. Well, not at home. They beat Tennessee. And that one was in that Jimmy V Classic. That was one of the first college basketball games I bet on this year. And they covered the spread. So I remember that one. But Texas Tech is good. I think they're the best team in the Big 12. I think Kansas is right there with them. And you still can't count out Baylor. Baylor's very good. And Baylor played West Virginia yesterday. Baylor got there Baylor play or West Virginia played it close for a little while. I don't have the final pulled up. Do y'all?
I'm
I
looking
do.
for it.
81-77.
So it was a
Couldn't find
4-point game.
Yeah.
81-77, you said?
At home. Yeah. at
Yeah.
home.
So again, West Virginia is a scrappy team in the Big 12, but you can't count out Baylor. It's Baylor, Kansas, and Texas Tech, I think, in the Big 12. I think they're all tournament teams. I think they'll all make the tournament. They all have big wins against each other. They're kind of beating each other up. But I mean, this has been a fun year of college basketball because you really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, who thought? I mean, I think most people thought Auburn was going to be good, but as dominant as they are, I mean, you can't say that. You don't know that.
Yeah,
They're good.
and they're 21-1, 9-0 in the SEC. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at some of these scores.
What were they
and,
ranked at the
like,
beginning of the year? Like 22nd? Or was
I
they even
think-
top 25?
They were top
I
25.
think they were top 25,
Mhm.
but it was lower
Yeah.
on the list.
I mean, I'm just looking at some of these games. They're all like really close. Like Michigan State and Maryland was a 2-point game. Then of course you got Texas Tech and Texas. Providence and St. John's was a 4-point game. UConn got beat by Creighton by 4. I mean, all these games are really close. I mean, it's gonna be a good year for college basketball, especially once we get into the tournament.
Are we going to make a bracket, like a Mad Dogs?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
to.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will definitely be doing that. We will have a March Madness episode where we kind of do our takes on the brackets. But dude, it's gonna be tough to fill out this year, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
I just
A lot of underdogs coming out on top this year.
I want to talk about the fall from grace Alabama's had on
Yeah.
in college basketball. I mean, they finished last year pretty high up, and then now they just. I mean, I don't pay attention that much to men's basketball, but like, they fell off. They started out ranked in the top 15,
Yeah.
top
They
10.
looked good
maybe.
earlier in the year, though.
They did.
They
I mean, they
just-
beat the good teams, dude. They beat them. I mean, they beat Baylor. They beat the only team like top tier that they haven't beat is Auburn. I mean, but they have a loss to Missouri. They have a loss to Georgia. I mean, they have losses to
Those are
bottom
bad
tier-
losses.
Yeah, bottom
Yeah.
tier teams. They have but they beat Alabama or they beat Tennessee. They lost to Memphis. They beat Gonzaga. They beat Houston. Like these are good teams that they've beaten, and they just don't beat the.
They just play down to the competition.
It's crazy. So, a couple bad losses. I'll just go ahead and say them. So the worst one right now is Georgia. I think that one can be said. Losing to Georgia is not. You can't do that. They've lost to Memphis. I think we've kind of discussed that Memphis isn't that good. They're kind of one of the most overrated teams in the nation, even with their talent. They do have a loss to Davidson. Davidson
coach.
Do what? Oh yeah, it's a coaching thing. for sure.
Penny Hardaway is just not a good coach.
They have a loss to Davidson, who Davidson's a pretty good, non-power 5 team. They always, Steph Curry. They lost to Missouri. They lost to Georgia, Mississippi State. Now those games are all on the road. So they do play Kentucky at home Saturday. Then they go to Ole Miss next Wednesday. Then they have Arkansas at home, and then they're Mississippi State at home. I think they have to. If they lose to Kentucky, they have to win 3 straight. They gotta go to Ole Miss and win. They gotta beat Arkansas at home, and they gotta beat Mississippi State at home. And then after the state game, on Tuesday they turn around, they play State on Wednesday. On Saturday they have to travel to Kentucky again. So it's
That's
a tough
rough.
role. I mean, it's tough. Yeah, like Avery said, I mean, this is a team that was very good last year. And Alabama is not the team they were last year. Bad losses, not going to look good for your tournament resume. You have to beat those teams. You have to beat the Missouris and the Georgias. And you go out there and you beat Gonzaga, you beat Houston, you beat Baylor. How the hell do you lose to Georgia and Missouri? 2 different teams showed up. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just bad. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know, but they are not the superior team in Alabama for college basketball. So, okay, enough about that. Aven, Ole Miss got a big win on last night.
Yeah. And the guy that I called out to step up didn't do a whole lot.
Mhm.
But they still came out with a win. Let me pull up the stats real quick. I'm trying to update the Zoom stuff real quick, but I'm not having any luck with it. Let's see here. What's the final score? Like 76-72?
Yep, that's right.
I was really hoping for Ole Miss just to cover, but to go into Baton Rouge and get a big win like that, I wouldn't say that's big for Ole Miss because they're not going to sniff the tournament's asshole this year.
You never know. If
No, I
anything,
know.
though, they might if they depending on how they
Yeah.
finish the year, they get end up in the NIT.
76-72. It hurts LSU pretty big there because
Yeah.
I lost to Ole Miss at home. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And they've been pretty good at
So
home.
can we talk
right?
about something real quick? Can we talk about LSU real quick? LSU was what? 13-0? 14-0, 12-0, something like that?
And they met a wrecking ball Auburn team that just shattered their season pretty much.
Yeah, so their last let's just go their last
Last
in
6.
January. Yeah, we'll go in January. So their last game was against TCU on Saturday. They lost to TCU. The game before that, they beat A&M. The game before that, they lost to Tennessee. The game before that, they lost to Alabama. The game before that, they lost to Arkansas. And the 2 games before that, they beat they beat Florida and Tennessee. They beat Kentucky. So we will say that they did beat Kentucky. The Ole Miss loss last night. And then ever since they played Auburn, I mean, it hadn't been the same LSU team.
Now, I will say that was the first SEC game of the year.
Yeah.
And you look at some of these teams that they've played, they don't look that good.
Yeah.
But still, 13-0 is pretty impressive. And
yeah. And
in college
again,
basketball.
like no team, I mean, they weren't expected to go crazy, but they have a couple bad losses. I mean, Arkansas at home. The TCU, I think you expect them to beat TCU, and then the Ole Miss loss at home. I mean, they can't lose that game. This is a team that's trying to make the tournament, and now they're 16-6. They were 13-0.
Yeah.
So, or 12-0, whichever one. So LSU's kind of had a fast little fall. So that one's
Fall
not
from grace.
Yeah, they haven't been great. State played really well last night, I will say. You come home after a couple of road games that didn't go your way. You lose to Kentucky on the road, you lose to Texas Tech on the road. You need to bounce back win at home, and they did. So I was excited about that. They won by 14, much needed. Iverson Molinar, a great night from him. 10 for 10 from free throw is huge for Iverson Molinar. Shot 50% from the field. Garrison Brooks had 18. I mean, they look good. Much needed win. No, I don't think we're going to make the tournament at this point. I think the loss at Florida and not winning in overtime at Kentucky just hurt really bad. Kind of have to win out, and we're not winning out. So I hate to say it, but some upcoming games for this weekend I think we should watch for. Let's go to Friday. Friday is usually Big 12 day, but I don't see any Big 12 games on Friday. Any on Thursday? No. Okay, let's go to Saturday. All right. Saturday, we've talked about a couple, but I'm going to kind of go in time order because that's how it is on ESPN. We have a ranked matchup between UConn. They're on the road at Villanova, 17-12. Those are the 2 rankings. UConn, always around, right? Villanova, basketball school, always around. That should be a pretty good matchup. That's the early game on Fox. That one's at 11 a.m. I've watched one UConn game. They played Seton Hall, the game they played, and that game was great. Both teams shot lights out, but I think that was like the best shooting performance from both teams all season. So I just called it a good game, I guess. So yeah, they both shot good games that game. Another one, Auburn and Georgia. So I know this one sounds like, oh, they're going to beat the dog shit out of Georgia, right? On Tuesday, Auburn plays on the road at Arkansas. Do you think they're looking ahead a little bit, and this might be a little Georgia trap game, or do you think
No,
Auburn's going to win?
they would have to play so underwhelming to lose that game. I don't see it being a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Texas Tech on the road, West Virginia. I think that game's a little interesting. That one is at 1:00 on the ESPN. West Virginia is fantastic at home, but Texas Tech, like I said, probably one of the best Big 12 teams, if not the best. I think that one could be a instant classic against West Virginia.
It's going to come down to the wire, I feel like.
West Virginia just likes to play at home. I mean, they just played Baylor really close on the road, though. So
their coach has like an unreal stat at playing at home at West Virginia. Like it's absurd. Like it looks like a video game.
Yeah.
They've had the same coach for like 17 years, but
Yeah.
their stats at home are
likes to play at home. Likes to play at home. All right. Iowa State and Texas is a good one. I think Iowa State's playing right now. They're playing who's Iowa? No, they played Kansas last night. Sorry. Iowa State, they're at home, and I think that's all I have to. Or Iowa State's on the road, so that kind of changes my mind. I think Iowa State wins this one. They played Kansas pretty close after Kansas coming off a loss. Okay, a little bit later in the day, we have the biggest game of Saturday. It is Baylor on the road at Kansas. This is really, besides Texas Tech, obviously, this is the battle for who's going to win the Big 12. I think that both of these teams have something to prove. I think it's going to be a great matchup. Baylor is very good defensively. Kansas can shoot the lights out at times. The way Baylor's played lately, I would go Kansas, but I mean, Kansas just recently lost to Kentucky. So I don't really know who to pick in this one because I like both teams.
Baylor's been a letdown against some of these other good teams this year, so I wouldn't doubt Kansas taking that one.
And they are playing at Kansas. I don't know what Baylor's record is on the road. Well, they've only lost 3 games all year. Let's see here. They've lost 2 games at home, and they've lost 1 game to Alabama at the that Big 12 SEC tournament.
Was that in Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think this one, I mean, for both teams, you gotta think that you have to win this one. I feel like this will be the biggest win of your season. Kentucky, I mean, Kansas probably didn't play that well against Kentucky. I mean, they may have been looking ahead to this game. But again, you can't overlook Kentucky. Kentucky's a top 5 team, as they always are. The other game is against the other 2 that matched up, Kentucky and Alabama, which is weird. Kentucky plays on the road at Alabama. And I like Alabama in big games, man. I really do. But I just don't see Kentucky dropping this one at all.
Well, Alabama's shown you they could win at their place, beating Kansas at home.
Mm-hmm.
Or Baylor.
Yeah, they can win at home. I do know that. But it's just like Kentucky's trying to keep pace with Auburn, and I just don't think they drop one against an Alabama team who we've seen Alabama win big games. Yeah, that's true. But, like, they have to beat Baylor at home, and then they just lost to Auburn. Now they got to go play the second best team in the SEC in Kentucky. And this will kind of show you where Baylor is, right? How good Baylor is determined on this weekend, right? So if they beat Kansas and then Kentucky loses, then you got to think Baylor's right there with Auburn. But if Baylor loses and Kentucky wins, then Baylor's barely a top 10 team, I think. Kind of shows you the matchup. The matchups are weird, right? They kind of go in the way of Baylor having everything to prove, even in one of the games that they're not even playing. So It's very this. I feel like Baylor has to have like this is a big weekend for Baylor alone, and Kansas really. If Kansas loses to Baylor, and Kentucky just goes and beats the dog shit out of Alabama, like then how good is Kansas against good teams?
I will say though, Baylor and Kansas do play again on the 26th of this month.
Okay.
So they do have to match up again, which will also be another big game. But I think this will set the tone. It's at Kansas, and so the next game will be at Baylor. If Baylor can come in and beat them at home, that game coming into this month, you play them again. You're like, hey, we've already beat these guys at their place. Now they got to come to us. Like that's a lot of confidence. That's like a monkey off your back.
Yeah.
I might give them some momentum going into Texas and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And then next week and a half after that, riding off of that.
I will say that Alabama really has nothing to lose at this Kentucky game. So if they go out there and lose, they're projected to lose anyways. But if they go out there and win, I mean, you got to throw them in the conversation. Like, how good is Alabama? But, dude, 8 losses? There is no way they should have 8 losses. No way, man. They're way too. I think they're too good of a team to be 14-8. It's like that. It's like that with State though. I think they're better than 14-7, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say State Hitch plays on the road at Arkansas, so I think that's a huge game for us on Saturday.
It is.
Aven, Ole Miss plays Florida at Florida or at home?
Oh shit! I just had it pulled up.
At Florida.
At Florida.
At Florida. So
I would say that Florida would be favored here, but you just saw Miss walk into Baton Rouge and get a dub, so I wouldn't be surprised if they walk into Florida.
Yeah, and Florida beat Missouri by 1 today.
Yeah. So. Was that at home?
That was at Missouri, I think.
I think Missouri plays pretty good at their place.
Missouri plays a lot, yeah, because they played Auburn close at home, did they not?
54-40. I mean 54-55, was it not?
Yeah.
I think I'm in a different game.
Yeah, it was close.
Jesus, where is that?
Missouri's like the scrappy team of college basketball. Yeah. Like they'll lose, but they're gonna make you like earn the win. Like they're not gonna win, but they're gonna make you like work for the win. So
and like
make
Missouri
you sweat a little bit.
Yeah, like Missouri beat Alabama earlier in the year.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, all these games at home are like 1 point.
Yeah,
and that was when Alabama was still ranked.
Yeah, they were 15.
Okay, good Alabama. Well, I still think Alabama's good. I just think they don't know how good they are. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the week for college basketball. We got some big games this Saturday. Let's move on to kind of the pressing issue for an upcoming sport that's supposed to start, relatively soon. We always hate the off season for baseball. This shit's annoying, dude. I would imagine that spring training is going to be delayed. I'm really at this point thinking that the whole season might be delayed, and nobody can come to an agreement. And it's just been back and forth. They keep meeting, and it's not like they are nearing an agreement. Every time I see it pop up, it's nowhere near an agreement. Like they're not close. I think it's kind of getting annoying. I don't know if y'all saw Tyler Matzick's tweets today or yesterday talking about the MLB as a whole. He did call out the MLB in his tweets, which is fine. I think you need to. But Rob Manfred has done such a shitty job of the whole situation that's going on. He's been a terrible commissioner since he's been there. I just do not see at this point right now where we're not near an agreement how we as baseball fans can expect the season to start on time right now.
No, someone came out and tweeted that spring training was delayed inevitably.
Yeah, I saw that. Which I mean, it's supposed to start in 10 days.
Yeah, and
so I definitely see that happening. And I'm reading an article right now. They said MLB, like whoever was representing them or whatever, was furious at the players' union.
Marcus Stroman tweeted something earlier today about it. Did y'all see that?
I didn't see Marcus. I saw Tyler Matzik was the only one I saw today.
Marcus Stroman's had like 3 or 4 tweets.
Yeah.
Shitting on the MLB.
Yeah, which also Marcus Stroman is very outspoken, which I like. I love Marcus Stroman too. He's gonna call it like he sees it. This whole thing going on right now is just literally. If you were working for Rob Manfred, I don't see how you're like, hey, dude, we're gonna be losing money. We already shit on the minor leaguers who make no money, and we're trying to lose even more money. We're not even gonna have a minor leagues if we keep this shit up. Right? Am I the only one who sees this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they don't put more money into their minor league system. I think isn't that the whole issue, that and arbitration and
Yeah.
I think this is an MLB issue. I don't think this is the minor leagues. The pay
They
and stuff
said
like
they
that.
resolved the minor league issues, but we'll see if that fucking happens. 'Cause I don't know if that does happen.
So what I'm seeing right here is the union wants the rookies to earn a minimum of $775 a year. And the MLB countered with $615 first year, $650 second year, then $700 third year before being eligible for arbitration. That's a big gap. That's 150 off, 160 off. So just little stuff like that.
I want to explain the Tyler Matzik tweets real quick. I don't know if y'all saw them. So you know how we've had the United States Football League, we've had the XFL, we've had the AFL, shit like that, right? We've had kind of off-brand NFLs. Same thing with I think there were a couple of hockey leagues like that. Basically what Tyler Matzik said is that Rob Manfred is basically put in place where, and I'm trying to quote it exactly, but he said that the baseball players in the MLB want to play like the game is meant to be played. They don't want all this bullshit that they're trying to incorporate. And what Rob Manfred has done is made it impossible for there to be a competing baseball league. So like you see with the NFL, with the USFL, there can't be anything like that with the MLB. Rob Manfred has basically made a contract saying that former baseball players that have played for the MLB, shit like that, cannot go off and do their own thing like that. Because at this point, right now, I think that it would rival MLB at this point. I
almost turned into the DR playing baseball just because I wanted to watch something about baseball that wasn't about this damn lockout.
Yeah. It's kind of gotten to the point where, I mean, how are you not on the player's side at this point? Everything they're saying it's not like it's something different every time. They are piggybacking off each other. So when you see Stroman's tweets, it's piggybacking off of Tyler Matzik. If you see Tyler Matzik, you're probably piggybacking off of Bryce Harper or Josh Donaldson or big name baseball players. I hate to say it, but these aren't just guys that aren't very popular. Tyler Matzik is a well-known name now because of the playoffs. Marcus Stroman is a great pitcher in Major League Baseball. So all these guys that are coming out and talking aren't lower end guys. These are guys making a lot of money and have big contracts for their team.
Okay, I got a question right here. So the Players Association's wanting the luxury tax to go from 210 mil to 273 by 2026. Okay?
Say that side again.
I think it's at 210 right now, luxury tax. Okay.
To what?
Well, in the first year, they're wanting it to go up 35 mil to 245, and then escalating to 270. Sorry about that. Escalating to 273 in 2026. Well, the MLB counter offered with raising it $4 million in the first year and topping out at 220 after 5 years.
That's not even close to what the offer.
That's way off. Okay, so what my point I was wanting to make off of this, like, would that be bad for baseball if you raised it to 273? I think it would be.
Yeah.
So I think I'm siding with the MLB on this side.
That one is
or this issue
because you're trying to pay your players more, right? Like you'd be trying to give them more money, so then you'd have more money.
Yeah, but just because the luxury tax is there, that doesn't mean the teams are still going to spend.
Right.
So then the Dodgers, that's another freaking Trevor Bauer, Max Scherzer that they can add to their rotation.
Yeah, I see that.
And that just makes it worse.
If you did 273, then that's kind of creating the whole like, all right, we'll pay out the ass and we'll get more guys, like exactly what the Dodgers did. Exactly. So they had the team last year, and then hey, let's go add Jose Ramirez. Let's go add Candelario, a guy like that. Let's go add fucking Teoscar Hernandez, like those guys, like really.
Okay, so what was I gonna say? Shit. So do you think like that would be if they did that, it would result in like your like just everyday starters, not all-star caliber guys, like just solid rotational players like I'm not gonna say Odubel Herrera because he's like a domestic abuser, but who's like an Andrew McCutchen at this point in his career? Do you think that would make somebody like him go from like a $14 million salary to maybe like 18, 19? Or do you think that they would still have about the same pay and they would just pay more for those superstars and it would be in the same boat as it is right now?
Okay, so this is
what I'm saying?
This would be my argument, right? This would be like, okay, yeah, we got the extra money. Okay. Andrew McCutchen, 14 mil usually, right? But he wants 17.
Yeah, around there.
Right? So he wants 17 this year. But we want this guy and we can pay him a lot of money. Okay. Well, Andrew McCutchen's still gonna want the fucking 17. He's not gonna go back down to 14 because he knows you have the extra money now, right?
Exactly.
So then Andrew McCutchen goes to wherever else and he goes, hey, I want 17 mil. He's not gonna go back down to 14. And that team's going to say, oh, well, we want this guy and we can pay a little bit more money for him. We're not going to give you 17 mil, but we'll give you 14 mil. He's going to be like, well, that's bullshit because I know you have more money, right? So that I can see that side of it. Because then, I mean, I hate to say it, and I love Andrew McCutchen as much as the next guy because he's done stuff for Pittsburgh that only a handful of people have done, but that dude's not worth 17, 18 mil anymore.
No.
And this does come back to the owners or the GMs. They do need some kind of solid ground to argue on. You know, they still need to have a say so in their deals.
Yeah.
I think this would give some reassurance to that, not having that luxury tax or not increasing the luxury tax.
They just need to get to a point where like they both, I think, need to mediate. Like there's no mediation. We're gonna stand here.
Well,
and they're gonna stand there.
Did they not hire like a third party agent to come in and help resolve some of this?
But how do you resolve something that's far off?
Yeah.
Unless it's like, you know how these players have like their arbitration period or whatever where they kind of find the middle ground. I don't know if that's kind of like what Aven's talking about that they're trying to do. But something needs to happen. Something has to give.
Yeah. Because you said the luxury tax going up to 220 as opposed to 273. You can't even say meet in the middle, right? Because that's 30 million more dollars MLB has to spend, right? But that's 30 million less than what those guys wanted. So there is no middle ground with this much polar opposites of what they want.
Exactly.
Like, a terrible spot. I think we will have a delay in the season.
There's going to be.
They can't figure it out. And I really think it might be as simple as saying, hey, Rob, you're not doing anything for the MLB as a whole. We already talked about growing the game outside of where it needs to be grown. Okay. Like, are we going to grow it in London because we're going to try to rival soccer? No, We'll never rival soccer over there.
No.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then the arbitration rules, I think you shouldn't have contracts that complicated. They are the most complicated in the world for contracts wise and arbitration and what is it? Service time. I mean, all that shit. I mean, it's so hard to explain. If you tried to explain to somebody who didn't watch baseball, they would call you stupid. Like, it's just the MLB.
What I don't get about like the salary thing, like, or the luxury tax and all that, like wanting to get paid more. That I think I really am siding with the MLB on this issue because we're not going to sit here and act like MLB baseball players are not getting paid a lot more than other sports. There's some basketball players that make close.
No,
but like
not really. Not really.
Well, the superstars though, like 40 something mil a year.
Yeah.
But the longevity too. Like these superstars like Bryce Harper, he's probably gonna be getting paid 25, 30 until he's 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got Mike Trout and Garrett Cole signing for what, 43 mil and shit like that.
Soto and Stanton and
yeah.
You gotta think that they're contracted 162 games and not what's the MLB 82.
Yeah.
You do play a
but the risk for
more.
Injury is a lot higher too in the NBA, even though it's half the game.
To be fair, though, I will say that you go look, and I know people are going to argue that it's not a physically demanding sport, but damn it, it's a fucking.
It is.
It is. Demanding sport, and they're playing twice the number of games as the NBA. And they
but those guys are sprinting up and down a court for 40 minutes.
I'm not saying that it's more demanding, but day in, day out, like.
Still, but
you look at all the rest days that
like,
NBA players have, and you look at the rest days that MLB players
they get like a day a week.
Yeah,
maybe two at the most.
MLB players are playing 158 games a year.
And it was Draymond Green talking about having to fly in the night of and having to play like an evening game or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like baseball players are legit leaving that night and playing at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock the next morning.
You didn't have to worry about being in the minor leagues and bussing 12 hours.
Yeah, like that's the thing that people don't understand too. These superstars that you see right now, aside from 2 or 3, played in the minors.
They went through it.
Grinded. And it is unlike anything, especially with the amount of bullshit that the MLB has already pulled for the minor leaguers. Like that, no other sport goes through it like that. Not one. And you want these superstars, your young guys that get drafted, you want them to come all the way up. But then they're like, well, I don't want to go sleep on this couch on the hotel for 3 nights in a row. I can't even get a damn room. Why would I keep playing? I'm not making enough money.
I don't know how they do it. You know how mentally, mental wise, that would have the effect on you like that, dude. Like me, I get maybe like a year, be like, it is what it is. But you got some guys that never make it out of the minor leagues, and they're 35 years old.
Yeah.
Just think, let's say you got drafted out of high school, like a career minor leaguer.
Yeah.
And you're having to do that for 17 years. Like that's
I also want to bring this point up. Let's go, you're in a slump shooting the basketball, right? You're probably going to play 3 games that week. So you have a lot of days off to fix your shot, right? If you ain't hitting it well, you're playing 6 games that week, you get 1 day off and you're probably resting that day.
Yeah. And you're probably going like 3 for 30 and that just going through a fucking slump, and then it's just it's in your head.
Yes. So if you ever I get NBA, look, man, I get it. I get NFL.
Physically demanding. Yeah, they are physically demanding.
Dude, baseball is such a mental sport, and it can just quit on you as like that. It can be done, and you can just be done. And you can say all that, physically demanding for NBA and NFL, it could stop then. But if you're mentally not able to do it anymore in the MLB, you're done. You can't do it anymore.
Look at what's the Moneyball dude?
Billy Beane.
Billy Beane. Holly or Did he play college? He got drafted out of high school, didn't he?
Yeah,
he
out of high
busted.
school. Yeah.
That's just one of those things. Like it's mentally. You got to think. Never mind. I ain't gonna bring that up.
I mean, might as well, right? I mean,
I don't know. You might not need to.
you texted to us here in a little while. We got a lot, you know. Baseball is a different sport, and if people in sports know how hard it is to hit that freaking thing. Okay, it's hard. It's hard as shit. Only
hitting a fastball is hitting a major league fastball is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Yeah, and I'll have that argument till the day I die.
Yeah.
At this point, I might say the slider is probably the hardest thing to hit.
Yeah.
They're not even fucking 6 miles an hour.
Yeah, so if you gave like an athlete, like if you gave like somebody, you know, just a random athlete off the field, right? And you said, okay, we're going to go take you over here. And he's just going to
put LeBron out there. He is not going to hit that.
No shot.
He won't even come close to it.
If you throw straight fastballs, he'll get lucky and hit a couple. But then you mix up your curveballs, your changeups, your
no shot.
You ain't hitting it. I'm sorry. It's the hardest thing to do in sports. It's mentally exhausting, and you hit 4 times. That's it in a game.
And then baseball is set up around failure. If you succeed 3 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. Offensive wise, it's set up around failure.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote my speech on why baseball is the hardest sport to play.
And then defense, you're expecting perfection. Like, if you have like a 950 fielded percentage, that is bad. Awful. That's a bad fielding percentage in baseball. Like, especially as an infielder. Well, outfielders is usually a little bit higher, but even the bad ones. But still, like, they expect perfection on both sides, and that's a lot to keep up. It's a lot.
It is a lot. I'm excited for whenever it does start. At least we'll get college baseball and we can watch college.
Yeah, college baseball will be nice to watch.
No lockout for that, thank God.
How long is that away? Like 16, 15 days?
Yeah, not much.
Well, we're approaching 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
It's gonna be Friday.
2 weeks from Friday.
Yeah.
So 16 days. We're almost there, boys. All right, let's move to we talked about the Farmers Insurance Open this past weekend, but the PGA came out with their power rankings, and I would like to talk about that for a couple minutes before we move on to anything else. At number 1, if you don't watch golf, there's only one name you need to know, and his name is Jon Rahm. Okay, he is number 1. He is the number 1 golfer in the world. I love Jon Rahm personally. But we're not here to really talk about Jon Rahm. I think we all knew he was going to be at the number 1. He had a great weekend last weekend. I think he had a top 5 finish, right? So he was going to be up there anyways. Hitch, do you have the power rankings pulled up?
Where are they?
I'm looking for it right now. Just go to ESPN and then go to the golf section. Oh, by the way, Berger is out. You know how they said he was dealing with that back injury, I think? Yeah, so he's going to be out this weekend.
See, I got the official world golf ranking pulled up, but not the power ranking.
Are you on the ESPN app?
Yeah.
It's got a picture like Jon Rahm just sitting there in a little cute little like flamingo shirt or something. And then it says everybody's chasing Jon Rahm.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Love me some Jan Ram.
But do y'all think Justin Thomas should be ahead of Morikawa? At number 2? Which I think we all agree Jon Rahm should be number 1, right?
Yeah, Jon Rahm's number 1, I think.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why they'll give it to JT is because he's been there longer.
Yeah.
I think I can think. Dude's got an amazing short game too. Like,
yeah, he does. But Morikawa's just a hot name right now.
Yeah.
He's been really, really good. What did Justin Thomas do in the Farmers whatever?
I don't know
if he blew up on that last round. I think he was like 12 under. He finished 12 under.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was still top 15?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was still in the conversation.
So,
he was at least top 20. Morikawa, he didn't play last weekend, did he?
No.
No.
Have you heard anything about him playing in The one this weekend or the one in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, wherever else they're playing? Do we know anything about Colin Morikawa?
Let's see.
Let me look.
Let me pull this up.
I'm trying to find it right now.
He needs to play
Yeah.
this tournament field. Let me try to find Colin.
Let's see if it has something on news.
The last one he played was the some tournament of champions, January 6th to the 9th. He finished 5th. He shot 25 under.
I don't see where he's playing in the Pebble Beach.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
I just saw something talking about how the Pebble Beach Pro-Am may feel effects of an event held in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if he's playing in that.
Okay, so the last 2 weekends, he has been over there.
Okay, so I got a list of some names right here, which I do not see Morikawa's name.
Mm-hmm.
Mickelson's going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
DJ is going to be there, Aven.
Yeah.
Kepka, DeChambeau,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Na, and then Shoffley.
Shoffley.
Yeah.
I will say
And it says
that,
and others, but I figured they would have headlined Morikawa if he was playing in
Yeah.
that.
so I will say he played in Dubai this past weekend. Morikawa did. He shot 5 under, but some other names that were there was Sergio Garcia, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, and McIlroy was there. They were all there this past.
That's understandable. Everyone across the pond staying over there to play in that, for the most part.
Yeah. So all those guys were there, by the way. Just a heads up. It
I
looks
think
like
they're
they might
getting fined for playing in that.
what's the name of the tournament this weekend?
It just says event held in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't really have a name from what I'm
Saudi
saying.
Arabia. Okay, we might be trying.
Saudi International.
Okay, we might be trying to find a way to watch that.
Because that's what, 5 big names, 6 big names, and that's not even all of them.
I know we talked about it earlier in the week on Sunday about them playing in Saudi Arabia, but I really don't feel like it's that big of a deal of them playing there, just solely based on the fact that Formula One raced there this past year in 2021. But that's just me. So y'all kind of acted like it was like this huge deal that they were letting them play over there. But I mean,
well, it's not gonna. That's the thing. I don't think they get any points for the FedEx Cup for playing over there.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah.
It's not really a big deal. Maybe it's just a chance to go play over there. You know, it might be that.
it's most likely what it is.
Which Rory is sitting there. He's kind of defending PGA on it. He said they don't want to lose their top players to go play on another tour. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's obvious.
For Pebble, all I see is Kisner's playing, Speed's playing, Jason Day's in it.
The Pebble Beach one.
Pebble Beach one. There's not a whole lot of big names. Cantley's in it. Let's see who else.
Speaking of Cantley, he is at number 4. I don't.
Cameron Champ's the name to watch for.
Oh, I just read something pretty damn interesting.
Go ahead.
So I think they're trying to which I'm sure they already have their own league over there.
Yeah.
But I think they're sitting there trying to recruit from the PGA.
Oh, really?
From over here. Yeah, so it's talking about how Morikawa told reporters that he had already been approached by them to join their league, which they're paying them. It would be similar to PGA style, like how they do everything, but that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
He would explore that option possibly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for sure. It would be crazy because nothing's ever competed with PGA before. Nothing, not even close.
Yeah.
So it'd be weird to see. I don't. I mean, I think if PGA is okay for the most part, but yeah, I mean, maybe something different. I mean, who wouldn't want to go play in Dubai and Saudi? I mean, it's nice over there. Some very nice. I bet you there's some cool ass courses over there too that you've never played before. I mean, I could only imagine, playing the same courses over and over for 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, I feel like that would get stale.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't like, even we go somewhere a couple times. Imagine, like, we sit there, and it's not like they play it just once or twice at a time. They're playing it 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
5 if you count the practice round, right?
Yeah. Like
So,
gotta be.
It's
rough.
what Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
my damn headphones just went stupid.
Yeah. Like, just imagine, guys, if we had to play Elm Lake 5 days in a row. Or Lion Hills 5 days in a row. Like, you got to be losing your mind. And there's sometimes where you play that, like, you play it at the same course like 2 different times throughout the year. So then you're like, shit, dude, I don't want to play this course again.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
So,
a lot of those PGA courses though have started to decrease the width of their fairways, just so they're basically trying to get rid of the most like entertaining part of the sport, which is driving off the tee box and just seeing people hit like 300, 400-yard drives.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you hit it that far, you're risking your accuracy. So they're basically trying to get rid of that. So by decreasing the width of their fairways, just so it's
I don't see a problem with making it a little bit more difficult on the golfers.
Yeah, but you want to see the 370 to 380 yard drives.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I still think they'll hit them. I mean, you sit there, you could make that damn fairway 5 yards wide,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you DeChambeau's still going to come out there with his driver.
With 400.
because I mean,
yards.
it's just they're like it was. I kind of see where they're coming from though, because like if you take a look back like 5-10 years ago, you maybe had 1 or 2, maybe 3 guys on the tour that could drive a ball 350, 360 yards consistently without the help of, the wind blowing out. But now
Yeah,
you have
DeChambeau can damn near do that with
Yeah.
a 3-wood.
now you have almost every single guy on the tour being able to drive a ball that far, I mean, give and take the accuracy, but like still that
I mean,
it's really
regardless, like if you watch them though, like they can put that ball within like a 10-yard, 15-yard little box if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Especially.
but I mean
So
that's
I don't think it
that's-
would affect it that much as long as it's not too big of a
Yeah.
But I mean that's why we're seeing
difference,
all
you know.
these low scores within golf as well.
But I like it. Makes the game a little bit more interesting. But you still have those courses that are like
I agree.
they're still hard to play. So you'll see the
Like
winners shooting the
TP
7 under. Like it's still
yeah,
it's still
you still got like your sawgrasses and pebbly beaches.
and Augusta's still hard regardless.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
you lose so many strokes on Amen corner, like so
Is Augusta not like the hardest course to play?
I'm pretty sure it is.
it's yeah, I would almost
I think it is.
God, yeah, it's a hard course.
Have y'all seen how like strict the people that run that course are? Like if you go play, like if you, God forbid, you have that much money to go play around at Augusta National, like
Yeah.
you're not even you're not allowed to like take your phone in there. You can't take pictures while you're on the course. Like
Can't have your phone.
Yeah, you can't have your phone in the
Why?
clubhouse.
Why?
you just because
Because,
I
like,
I guess
It's known for being like an exclusive area.
yeah
So
they don't want.
people knowing what it looks like in there.
And then
Look, is this the Oval Office?
I remember reading something that was like if you hit a hole in one, like they give you this whole like this big plaque, this big certificate, but you got to pay like an arm and a leg to even have it.
Mm.
Because they'll be
That's
like, yeah,
weird.
you got a hole in one, we'll give you this if you give us $5,000. It's like
Which, if they're able to play there, they can afford it.
They can probably exactly. I
Yeah.
would like to know how much a round is there.
here, let me look.
Hitch at 5 is the reigning Masters champion. Matsuyama. I think he's a great golfer, dude. I love him.
He's at the top of every leaderboard every weekend. It seems like
you will see his name always up there. I think he's a top 5 golfer. I really do. I think he's amazing. Him and Morikawa.
I think he's right there at about the right spot. Honestly,
he does everything outstandingly. Like everything he does with a purpose, right? Like he's just very good at everything he does. Number 6 is a guy who won the Dubai Desert Classic this past weekend that I just told you about. He's from Norway, Victor Hovland. I think I said his name right. He is at 6. Don't know much about him, but I imagine he's going to be
pretty good.
I imagine he's going to be at the Saudi Arabia thing this weekend if he just played in Dubai. I would imagine. So
yeah,
you cannot play at Augusta without having a membership, unless you know somebody that has a membership, and they allow their members to bring guests at select days during the season to come play golf. But membership is believed to cost between $100,000 and $300,000. And annual dues were estimated in 2020 to be just under $30,000 a year.
God bless America.
A whole ass salary.
That's nuts.
You're playing
that's nuts.
So I'm looking at this lineup for Pebble Beach. Like Aven said, like there's not really just a whole lot of names that's in it. Like your big names, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we gotta figure out how to watch that Saudi Arabia
I'll be
Invitational.
Number 7 is Rory. I don't think he should be number 7. I think DJ's better. I think Schaffel or Schaffle, however you say it, I think he's better. I don't think Rory's number 7 personally. It does say that he almost blew it again this weekend, or he blew it again this weekend. He had a chance to tie to go to the playoff, and he bogeyed it. So he finished 3rd. I don't think he's the 7th best golfer in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's top 10. I think he's at 10. But I think DJ is personally a better golfer, and I don't think he's 7. I think DJ should be 7 personally. But that's just me. That's just what I've seen. But yeah. He's number 7.
Send me that link that y'all looking at, or send it in the group chat.
All right. I got you.
What is the tournament in Saudi Arabia called?
Saudi Invitational.
Saudi Invitational.
Yeah, I think.
Number 8 is Cameron Smith, and he shot. Remember, I told you Morikawa played at that tournament in Hawaii earlier and shot a 25 under. He was in 5th. Cameron Smith won that tournament, and he shot a 34 under. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's unbelievably good. I
won this Sony Open in 20.
So Cameron Smith is 28 years old. He's Australian. He hadn't played since the Sony Open, but he missed the cut that time. So it'd be interesting to see if he plays at Pebble Beach this weekend. Wouldn't be shocked to see Cameron Smith there. But did you say he was there? I don't know if you did.
Wait, who?
Cameron Smith at Pebble Beach. Or is he going somewhere else? Is he going to Saudi?
Let me go back. Let me go down.
But at number 9 is DJ.
Smith is not playing in it.
Okay.
Or he's not reported to as of today.
Zalatoris also is not playing. He has COVID.
Nice.
Speaking of him, what do y'all think about him being at 11? Y'all think that's a good spot?
I think it's kind of high.
I think he's got to prove some more. I think Sung J M is better than him, personally. But hey, he's how old? Zalatoris is young, and
25.
I think they're kind of comparing him to Jordan Spieth. So, you know.
Apparently,
I don't know. That man has been riding a hot streak. I feel like, as far as power rankings go, I don't think it's too high for as of today in the overall aspect of things. I think maybe.
Yeah.
If you go with like the past 2 years, I don't think he.
Yeah, if you're going off the past like 6 months,
6 months,
to a year,
yeah,
I'd probably say yeah.
He'll be around for a while for sure.
Yeah.
And
what about DeChambeau? He's not. I know I'm skipping a few guys, but
that's
him
fine.
at 19.
Well, before we talk about DeChambeau, we got Koepka at 17. What do you think about
Brooksy.
that?
Yeah, we do. He did not look good.
No,
I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think
17.
Yeah, I think anywhere from 17 to 20 would be where Brooks Koepka is. Also,
He's one of those guys. I think he's really good, obviously, but he's just not elite like some of these other guys.
Yeah. But yeah, now we can talk about Bryson DeChambeau. I don't know about 19. I know he is very good driving, but there's some times where I think he doesn't know how to play golf.
Not a fan.
His short game is not very consistent, especially putting.
Well, he missed a cut at the Farmers Insurance Open. He finished 25th at that one in Hawaii, and then 14th at another one that looks like in Albany, New York. So,
which for me, you go ahead, Aven.
I think the game he's trying to play is not sustainable.
Yeah, I think
that's exactly what I was about to say. Like, he plays that style where, like, you're either going to be really, really freaking good or you can be really, really bad, which he hasn't been really, really bad. I mean, he's still finishing, top 25, 30 in most of these tournaments.
Yeah, besides the missed cut last week.
Yeah.
Which he's going to Scotty, right? I think you said that, yeah.
Yeah, him and Koepka are.
Yeah.
And DJ.
Well, this isn't the first time they played at Saudi.
No.
Yeah, DJ won it last year.
DJ is reigning champion.
The first time they did it was in 2019, though. So I mean,
and also for DeChambeau, like you gotta be on the right course if you're gonna play long. Like if you play if you play on a classic link style, like it's gonna do well because everything's flat and open. But now if you're on like Pebble, like it ain't gonna.
Yeah, it ain't gonna fly.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think he'll ever win anything like Augusta. I don't think he'll win, anything at Sawgrass. Like those courses are very difficult, and you have to play. You can't just play. I'm gonna hit this ball 390 yards every time.
Because no holes 300 and like 350 yards straight. Like everything's gonna bend. Like now your longer par threes, he's gonna have an advantage on because he's gonna swing an 8-iron that's as long as someone's 5-iron.
Yeah.
And he'll have an advantage on that. But as far as approach shots and stuff like that, he's worked so much on his driver, and half the time he can't use it.
Yeah.
On these tournaments like this. Depending on where he plays.
I don't think he's a top 25 golfer. If he is, and he's 24 or 25. And then the last one I think we'll talk about is Luke List. Actually, I want to talk about Kisner a little bit, but Luke List did just win the Farmers Insurance Open. I think Luke List is still he's 37. And that was his first tour win, but I think he's kind of been recently pretty good. I mean, pretty consistent, top 10s here and there, top 15s. He's always been, somebody you got to worry about him on the last day. So I like him at 22. I mean, there's a couple guys that I would maybe put in the top 25 that's not. But I mean, I don't hate him at 22 personally. Consistent. Like if you want consistency, it is very consistent. And then the last one, Jordan Spieth is at 25, by the way. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I just saw that.
He's fine at 25. I don't hate that. But Kevin Kisner is at 24. So
And that's the thing, though. Kevin Kisner, he doesn't care if he's 24. He don't care if he's 2. He don't care if he's 100. He's what was
He
that
says,
quote
I'm
he had?
getting, he said, I get paid like $300K to be a top 50 golfer in the world.
Yeah.
He said, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We need a televised, like, a Barstool Kevin Kisner, a 4-round televised event where they just go out there and get sloshed
That'd be
and
hilarious.
play golf. I would pay to watch that. I would.
They know that being a golfer like that is like the best thing to do in the world.
Do they not have a video kind of similar? I mean, they ain't
do.
slosh, but
Nuh-uh.
but you can tell that they're kind of in there a little bit.
Yeah. Kisner's
Walk
out there
around
like
the Trulies.
Kisner's out there challenging him to shotgun him beers and shit. It's like that'd be awesome.
All right. We're gonna move on from golf. Oh God. I even paused on my screen. Okay, he's back. We're gonna move on from golf. Last thing before we get to Underdog, SuperDawg, and Dog of the Week, we will talk about the Washington football team finally picking a name. It's the Washington Commanders, and I've never seen a more communist related name or logo or colors in my life for a football team. They sound like an XFL team. I hate it. I wish they would just go back to Washington football team. The black jerseys were cool until you look at the helmet because they fucking suck with that W on the front.
Yep.
Yeah, that one had the W right there on the forehead, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Terrible.
sick.
God. And I don't know who they put that jersey on or that uniform on or whatever, but that dude looked goofy as hell.
The dude in the dude with like the big old dreads.
No, the dude on the far right,
Oh yeah.
the one with the W on the front. I sat there, I was like, he just don't look like he should be in that.
What about his
picture
face
for the
mask, dude? He's got the middle bar that goes all the way up. Didn't know we were back in the 70s.
Yeah,
God.
like Wilky said, I'm getting major XFL vibes from
Yeah.
these designs.
The red, the maroon, the burgundy and white jerseys, like those two don't bother me, and the black didn't until I looked at the helmet. But like the name is just so bad. The
I
command.
don't even think a college football team would want to name their team that.
Yeah, like that's
Like
so,
why? It doesn't sound good.
It
We're
has
talking
no
about
ring
it.
to it.
We were talking about it at work today, and I was like, I honestly like Washington football team better than I do the Commanders.
I love Washington football team now. I
I
think
mean,
it's
you-
different. Like
I don't know. I feel
You
like
legit have the
I got
USSR
used to
flag
it, though.
colors.
That's why it sounds normal now. Like
But I
when
like
they
it.
first said that, but when they first said that,
Yeah, I mean,
I was
guess.
like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Yeah, but like
But
now,
now it's just like,
I don't know. I
whatever.
think the reason I like it is because kind of like I think they kind of gained some followers from like England because a lot of those over there, if you think about it, it's like Man United, Man City, football team, whatever, football club, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, that's pretty cool, Washington football team." I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
I think they
I'm-
should have went Washington Yellowskins.
I mean,
I wouldn't have been
like-
offended by it.
like,
Or like Washington foreskins.
Oh my god.
No, that I would like that one.
Me and Avery, like when they were first announcing,
Like,
their
come
name
on.
change- Yeah,
this is him.
The resemblance is uncanny.
go Commanders.
Freaking
Me and
USSR.
Avery always liked the Washington Red Tails. We always thought that
That's what I was about.
That
to
would have been
say,
so
the Red
good.
Tails.
that would have been. I wouldn't have hated that one because it had like a history with the city. Not only that, you could keep the same colors.
Mhm. And
Commander.
you're also honoring one of the biggest like breakthroughs in like color barrier wise. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know why you don't go with that. We gave it to you. All you had to do is just take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Commanders ain't the best for real. I hate
Who
it.
came up? Who was in that decision making process? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Well, they
Again-
should be fired.
Again, the jerseys don't bother me besides the black helmet. But like
They gotta fix
all the
that.
burgundy, the all white, like I like all those, and the black, like I even like. But first of all, just change the helmet, and then the jerseys won't be as bad. So I don't hate myself watching the Commanders play. That's just awful, dude. I'm like
Ugh.
that. I'm like
Every time
trying
you
to-
say it, man,
I'm like
it's
trying to think like when I watch them on TV, they have to say the Washington Commanders, and then I gotta look at it in the end zone. And then when I play Madden, I have to look at the Washington Commanders pop up on my screen.
I mean, honestly, look how much better this looks. It looks so much better.
Yeah. Go Red Tails.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
I'm calling them the Red Tails. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it.
Can we start a petition? We're starting
That's-
a petition this podcast to
Mad Dogs
change the
podcast.
Commanders to the Washington Red Tails because it sounds so much better and it looks
Yeah.
so much better.
I'm in.
I'm okay with it. It just gives me another reason to laugh at Washington.
Another thing too is it got leaked like a week
Yeah.
before they announced
Yeah.
it.
Did you see
Like-
it?
That was hilarious.
That camera is fucking badass. Did you
That was
see
a
that?
badass game.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
just
come
love
on,
how he
dude.
was
You,
looking in there trying to figure it out. He was like, "Wait, what? What?" That's
And,
hilarious.
like you could, like they would have been able to do like uniforms where they like copy a plane, do like the all gray. You know, like where the plane has like the shark face painted on it on the
Yeah,
front.
I
They
don't
could have
know.
done like an all gray color rush.
I hate them. I hate them. I hope they die.
It makes me hate myself,
Yep.
honestly.
Sure does. All right, y'all ready to wrap this thing up? It's late.
yeah.
Your
All right.
mom's late.
All right, so we're gonna move on to SuperDawg, Underdog, and Dog of the Week. If y'all don't know what that is, we'll start with
Mom's
Underdog of the Week.
Period is late.
Hey,
Hey yo,
that's what I'm talking about.
hey yo. All right. We'll go with Underdog of the Week first. I think we always like to start there. If you don't know what that is, Underdog of the Week is basically whoever is not favored betting wise, who we think will cover the spread or straight up win. Okay. I got one. So here you go. Okay, on Saturday or next Tuesday, because yeah, it's a week from now, so I can do this. Next Tuesday, Newcastle United, who is a soccer team that I personally like, they are not favored. They are plus 160 against Everton. I think they beat Everton outright in like a 2-0 game or 1-0. We have a couple new guys that we've signed, and I think they're going to be okay. So I think Newcastle wins plus 160. There you go.
Y'all are going off with those new co-owners.
You like it? It's great.
Yeah.
Avery, do you have a Underdog of the Week?
You're gonna have to give me a second because it's taking forever to load.
Well, then I'll go with Hitch. Hitch, do you have an Underdog of the Week?
I think I'm gonna go with the Mavericks over the Sixers. Records are fairly similar. I figure Mavs will be a slight underdog, not heavy though. But up until tonight, I mean, I gotta give praise to my boys over in OKC for that OT win. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I think they're gonna want to bounce back off of that. And Sixers have been real hit or miss. It just depends on what Sixers you get. I think Mavs take that one though in a close one. It's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. Aven, do you have an Underdog of the Week?
Yeah, my underdog of the week is going to be the Alabama Crimson Tide and some college basketball. Got Kentucky Saturday. I'm playing really good at the house. I think Kentucky's going to win, but I think Alabama will keep it close and cover the spread. I don't know what the spread is yet, but they don't have it.
No, yeah, I like that one. Avery, do you have yours now? Are you ready?
I do. It's next Thursday, February the 10th. It is the Wolverhampton Wolves versus my boys, the Gooners, Arsenal. They've been on a skid as of late. Their last 5, they are 0-3-2, and the Wolves are 4-0-1. So, again, as I've stated previously, Arsenal still looking at a pretty young starting group. I think they can really go out there, especially against the Wolves. They can regain momentum on their side with Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Emil Smith Rowe. I think if those three guys can step up, I think they definitely can win this game. I don't know why I said the Wolves. It's the Wolverhampton Wanderers. Anyways, I think they really need to count on this game to just get some momentum going for them right now. They're sixth in the table behind West Ham, Manchester, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City. They're typically up there with Man City and Liverpool and Chelsea. Just these past year or two been kind of full of up and downs for this team, but I think if they go out there and play, they can definitely win this game and get their footing back. Start going on a little win streak.
All right. Super dog of the week. I have like 2 or 3 underdogs that I liked because, whatever. But I'm going to go with Duke plays North Carolina on the road. I imagine that Duke will be favored by, I'd say 5.5 to 6. I think they cover, but I think they cover late. I don't really love North Carolina right now. I really like Duke right now. So I think Duke covers. That was a tough one, because I liked Baylor to keep it close. I like Ole Miss to keep it close. I like Michigan to keep it close. I like all these teams. So I'm going to go with Duke covering the spread. Hitch, do you have a super dog of the week?
I think I'm going to go with UCLA over Arizona.
Okay. All right.
They've looked really good this year. I don't know. They got Arizona as a heavy favorite. I don't know if I want to go with that one anymore. It's not a super dog if you're projected to lose by 7. I really don't have any other ones.
I'm gonna go real quick, Hitch.
No, I got you. No, you go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm gonna keep it in SEC. Go Auburn at Georgia. Take Auburn as a super dog. I know Georgia's playing at home, but I just don't think they have a chance to cover. Well, I mean, if it's like 15, I wouldn't take it. But if it's like 11 or something like that, I'm a hammer it.
Hell, I would. If it's 15, I'm like, the spread. Remember, the spread earlier was 21. They covered. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't care what Auburn puts up. I kind of like it. All right, Avery, do you have one?
My super dog of the week is shot in the dark. I'm like a blind man trying to make a basket with no help. I'm banking on Red Bull's F1 team to finally announce their car reveal date as we're drawing ever closer to private preseason testing, which is in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm really, really banking on them to finally say when they're gonna reveal this car. Hopefully they will say within the next week. If not, I'm just gonna look like an idiot. So
there you go. All right. Hitch.
Okay, who did you go with?
I went with Duke.
I'm gonna go with Kentucky over Bama. I think if Bama plays well, they could stay in the game, but I just don't see it. They've been looking rough recently, like we mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna go with that.
All right. I had the dog of the week, but it just changed because I got the notification for it. So my dog of the week happens tonight. Seattle Kraken. They won 3-0 tonight. But my dog of the week is Philip Grubauer. Get this, the first shutout in franchise history for the Kraken. He is the first one to do it. The goalie, Philip Grubauer for the Seattle Kraken. We got our first shutout tonight at the hands of again on the road against the Islanders, and Grubauer was amazing. No goals given up, obviously. We went 3-0, and we always like to win on the road. So Philip Grubauer is my dog of the week. It just changed right now. Go ahead, Hitch.
Like I mentioned earlier, that was a big win for OKC with no Shea in the lineup. So I'm going to go, obviously, the whole team because they all played amazing. Giddy, Man, and Dort all really showed up tonight, but Lou freaking Dort, give him the MVP right now. 30 bomb against that good Mavs team. Oh, God, I love that man.
Hell yeah. I love Lou Dort. I'm with you.
Who doesn't love Lou Dort?
All right, Aven, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Tom Brady. It is official. It is
Not
official
Adam
now.
Schefter.
Yeah. He is officially out of the league. So I just want to congrats.
So we can
Congratulations
say
to him.
goodbye to
Hell of a
Gronk
career.
too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Gronk officially said something today, did he not?
No, I think
No.
was he not just talking to Tom Brady
Oh,
inadvertently?
But everyone knows he's gonna.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
yeah. Unless he doesn't. All right, Avery.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
We can talk about that.
Talking about Brady.
We'll talk
just
about
not
that with everybody here, I think.
Yeah, we need Adair to make a guest appearance for that.
Maybe we
That,
will. Maybe we will. Who knows?
Which we already kind of discussed that Sunday,
we did.
though.
Yeah, we did.
Uh,
All right, Avery.
That kind of, we definitely
in
did.
this poll with Dawg of the Week.
My dog of the week, sticking with Formula One, since the driver changes were announced towards the end of the season last year. This is the first time that George Russell has been on site, on campus with the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. He's looking dapper as ever. Hopefully, he will be driving alongside Lewis Hamilton in Bahrain on March 18th. But we will see, because that is still up in the air. But yes,
We don't know.
George Russell is my dog of the week. I think whenever the season starts, he definitely could win a world championship, but we shall see.
All right, that is our episode for today. We hope you have a great Thursday. Thank you for listening. If you were on Spotify, thank you for watching. If you are on YouTube, we will see you guys on Monday morning, bright and early. Boys, send us home. See y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, and we won't miss Tom Brady.